Hey everyone, it is currently Christmas Eve when I am filming this video, and I'm just getting ready to go to my friend's house for a Seven Fishes dinner. I just thought I'd bring you along with me, so let's get ready. I'm really excited about this meal. I've never had a Seven Fishes dinner before, and I really like seafood, but my family never really has seafood. If they do, it's like shrimp cocktail. So I'm really excited for some of the food they're gonna have. They're gonna have like a crab dip, smoked salmon on a charcuterie board, lobster mac and cheese, a seafood boil. Yeah, so I'm sure there's gonna be so much food and I can't wait to try it. So we decided to throw a party. My sister's making a lot of appetizers for it. She's making deviled eggs, apple cheddar crostinis, stuffed mushrooms, a charcuterie board, veggies and dip, all that kind of stuff. And then we got like a raspberry lemonade to make a raspberry lemon spritzer cocktail. So it's gonna be fun, I'm excited. I'm gonna wear a green outfit. So I think I want to stick with browns. Gotta put my tape on. I learned this from Larry. I do it mostly to catch the fallout. Definitely not a makeup expert. I just like to have a little fun and experiment sometimes. What better time than the holidays? Home from my Christmas Eve dinner at my friend's house. They had a Seven Fishes dinner and it was really lovely. A lot of her family and friends were there. Some people I knew, some people I was meeting for the first time. I just love it when you can hang out with a friend's family and their friends who you didn't know before and still feel completely comfortable. I feel like I found some really great people here. But it was a really nice dinner, and then now I'm back home. I'm in my cozy clothes and I'm going to continue reading The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I started earlier today and I'm really enjoying this one. I saw that it was compared to, it was like if Knives Out was a rom-com, and that's totally holding up for me. So for this one we have Maggie and Ethan, who are both mystery book authors, and their boss offers both of them this mystery opportunity where someone has funded a trip to a secret location and they both end up going. So she realizes that Ethan is also going on this trip when she gets onto the private plane,
and Ethan is also there. And so they've got a little bit of banter going on, which I'm enjoying. She seems to think that he has never liked her, or maybe even like didn't take the time to even care to know who she was, but I'm definitely suspecting that that's not the case. He hasn't done or said anything that to me gives the impression that he never knew who she was or never cared to get to know her, and in fact they had a past interaction where I just suspect she assumed the worst. So they go on this mystery trip, and when they arrive, it turns out that they are in England at the manor of Eleanor Ashley, who in this world is a very famous mystery author who's written a ton of mystery books and is, you know, very well known in the genre, very looked up to, award-winning author. And Maggie in particular really looks up to this author and, you know, sort of idolizes Eleanor. And so when she finds out that it's her house, she kind of freaks out. She makes a little bit of a fool of herself in front of Eleanor, but Ethan kind of steps in and makes the interaction a little bit less awkward. So the first night that they're at this house, there's a party, and so that Ethan and Maggie go, and they find out that there's actually a lot of other people in this house at the same time. It's a lot of her family members. You know, some of them seem pretty harmless. Some of them seem maybe a little like stuck up or rude. Like one character in particular just seems like she's going out of her way to try to do everything she can for Eleanor, maybe a little too much. And so we're just kind of getting to know all of the cast of characters inside the house on the first night. The next morning, they wake up and they're down having breakfast, and somebody asks, has anyone seen Eleanor? And they realize no one has seen her, and they go up to her room. The door is locked. No one has a key. So they bust open the door, and it turns out Eleanor is missing. She's not in the room. It looks like she had locked the door from the inside, so she wouldn't have gone out her bedroom door. So that's kind of the mystery that's unfolding, is what happened to Eleanor, who might have been involved. We still have no idea why Eleanor brought Maggie and Ethan to her home. So I'm having a really good time with this. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I mean, honestly, when people compared it to Knives Out, I was like, you can't compare to Knives Out. Like, Knives Out is so good. But I get it. Like, we've got the mystery happening at the house with all the family members there, and, you know, I'm kind of guessing that Eleanor was suspicious of her family, or like maybe orchestrated something to happen while they were there and wants them to maybe solve the mystery or write about it or something like that. So that's kind of my guess. But anyway, while I am listening to my audiobook, I'm working on my 2026 reading journal. I can provide you some updates there. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how I was thinking about picking a color for every month and theming everything based on a color. And so I've decided to do that. And I wanted really bold, bright colors. This is the color palette that I have chosen. So you'll see I did it in a rainbow order to make sure I liked all the colors together, and then assigned each color a month. And now what I'm doing is going through and sort of setting up a cover page for each month. So I can show you. I'm just kind of making a collage with various stickers and washi tape and ephemera in the colors that I chose. So this will be January. Then I'm leaving a few pages in between because the way I'm thinking it's going to be, this is the cover page, this will be my TBR, and then the next 2 pages will be stats, like calendar to show when I read what, monthly stats to show my overall numbers for that month, and then we go to the next month. So this is February, this is March, this is April, and this is May, this is June. So I'm really liking the way this is going. For the most part, I like how these collages are looking, but I just really like the fact that I just went through all of my stickers and all of my materials to find anything in these colors, and I'm just putting anything on the pages, because I think so often I buy a lot of things and then for some reason I think, oh, this has to go with something special or only be used in a certain situation. And then I end up just having all of this stuff in drawers that's not getting used. So I like that I'm actually using all of these things and that I'm just kind of putting everything together. Like, as you probably saw, some pages do have reading related stickers on them and some don't. I like how this is getting me to use materials that I otherwise would just leave in a drawer. And I really like all of the markers that I picked out. So I think I'm gonna like this. So I'm gonna keep working on these month cover pages. Okay, let's get to it. So, funny story. I was working through my month pages and realized, remember earlier when I held this up? Where's October? Huh? Where's October? Yeah, I'm an idiot. So I need to figure out a color for October. But while I'm here, I thought I would give you an update because I'm about 40% into the most wonderful crime of the year. I'm having a great time. This is a lot of fun. I mean, so far I'm really feeling the Knives Out comparison because there was a minute where Maggie thought Eleanor was maybe orchestrating this event where she went missing as some sort of test to take over her books when she retired. But then some other things have happened, and now it's pretty clear that no, that's not what's going on. She actually is missing. They have reason to think that she is still alive though. But also what has been developing since my last update a lot more is Ethan and Maggie's relationship. Maggie is divorced. Her ex-husband cheated on her with her best friend. So she lost both her best friend and her husband at the same time and was really mourning that, was having a hard time, and had found out that her book was one of the top contenders for kind of like an Oprah's book club or Reese's book club, you know, one of those kinds of group picks, which would have been a really big deal. But she found out her book was not selected and instead Ethan's was selected. So she was already in a bad way from finding out that her husband was cheating on her with her best friend. And then on top of that, this could have been a really big deal. And then his book got chosen instead. So she was maybe a little resentful of him. And then at a work holiday party, someone was talking about her and she overheard. And Ethan said something like he was always going to leave her or something like that. And so she, over the years, had internalized that and interpreted that to mean that he thought she's not good enough. Like, why would he stay with her? Kind of a comment. And so some things were happening at the manor and she said something like, we've always hated each other. And he was like, why do you hate me? What did I do? And so she said that line that she overheard of, he was always going to leave her. And it sort of clicked for him what she had overheard and maybe how she was misinterpreting it. So at the end of this long day where they had found Eleanor missing and some other things happened, he ends up pulling his mattress into her room so that she won't be scared to sleep in her room alone. And while he's in there, he kind of explains to her that her ex-husband, the reason he said that about her ex-husband is because he couldn't be with a woman who did more than him or made more than him or was more than him. And he said she would always be more than him. So it wasn't a malicious comment after all. And then we just switched into Ethan's POV, going back a few years to when they first met. And so there's been this thing the whole time where he didn't know her name, right? And she was like, you've been calling me Marcy, you don't even know my actual name. We'll come to find out the very first time that they met, they were going to a party. Eleanor Ashley was going to be there. She was super nervous and realized that they had mislabeled her name tag and it said Marcy. So that's why he's been calling her Marcy and she doesn't remember. See, he fell first. Love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, something tells me he's been pining for a long time over her. And she's maybe about to find out. So that's a really fun time. Okay, so I'm going to pick a color for October. Keep going in my journal. Okay. Oh, this is cute. Look. Oh, pretty. Yeah. Yay. What is up? I have so many updates for you. First of all, I hope that you had a Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. If not, Happy Holidays or just a good day. We had a little party over at our place for Christmas and it was really fun. We had a good group of people. It was kind of one of those situations where you're bringing different friend groups together and everyone got along great. We played some games and just had a good time. And also my sister made so many delicious appetizers. I'll go ahead and show you that footage so you can kind of see what the spread was like, but she did a really amazing job and it was just so much fun. It was so nice to just have people over and just kind of spend Christmas in a very non-traditional way. I'm enjoying that more and more these days. So the 6th episode of Heated Rivalry is currently available. It is now late enough that it is available to stream and I'm going back and forth on watching it. I don't want it to end, so I think I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. I'm gonna have to stay off social media because I'm not ready for it to be over yet, and I feel like if I were to watch it right now, I would be too emotional to go to bed. And I do kind of just want a good night's sleep. This super early this morning, Roscoe knocked the glass of water off of my nightstand onto me and my bed. I went out on the couch for a little while and I did kind of fall back asleep, but not like a deep sleep. So tonight I just want to get some good sleep. I'm already feeling sad about the fact that it's gonna be over. So my plan for coping with that, I think, aside from rewatching it, I mean, we are still gonna have the watch party tomorrow night. So aside from just rewatching it, I am going to read the rest of the series, I think, or at the very least the long game, And then I want to do a reread of Heated Rivalry and just annotate the shit out of it. When I have a favorite thing, I annotate it, like highlighting, sometimes writing things on the page if like I have a reaction or something, but using washi tapes and printing out images. So in this case, I think I would print out images from the show and fan art and maybe like cutely designed quotes. And then when I do my read through, whenever that scene happens in the book, I will use washi tape to put the image on that page or near that page. Yeah, I've done that with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, When the Moon Hatched, Spark of the Everflame. Yeah. So I think this is up there. Like, I'm realizing Heated Rivalry is in my God tier. When something is in my God tier, that's what I do. So I'm definitely having mixed feelings about that. Like, I'm so excited to watch it, and I know I'm gonna feel like a flood of various emotions. They've said episode 6 is full of queer joy, so I'm excited to feel all of the feelings, but I'm not ready yet. They've said we're probably not getting season 2 until at least 2027. So we've got some time ahead of us to wait. In the meantime, we'll see what Connor Story and Hudson Williams do. I would love to see what they're like in other things, especially Connor Story. I think he's extremely talented and probably has a really bright future. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is that I finished Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. And you guys, I loved it. It was probably right book, right time, given that I started it on Christmas Eve. But honestly, I don't think it has to be Christmas to enjoy it. It's wintry, and it does take place in the days leading up to Christmas. I don't think it has to be just a holiday read. It was really fun. So I think I said before, it's like Knives Out crossed with a rom-com. And I think that entirely stood up. Mystery part of it, I was very intrigued by. I was like trying to stay up really late last night to finish. I almost finished last night. I think I had maybe an hour left this morning. So that means I almost read the entire book in a day. It was just really entertaining. The romance was cute too. I will say it was a little bit insta-lovey feeling, because it was one of those situations where like he fell the first time they met a long time ago, but she had no idea. And so then for her, it was kind of like insta-love, I guess. But honestly, for as much as insta-love is not my favorite, it didn't bother me in this book at all. Like I was eating up the romance as much as I was eating up the mystery aspects of it. So I thought that was so great. Honestly, it was just so much fun. So I definitely recommend you check that out, even if it's not the holidays. Like I said, I think it could be fun to read any time of year, and it definitely can be read anytime in the winter. Like, it was giving solid winter vibes. While I was reading that book, I was working on my reading journal. I was working on my month cover pages, so I can show you some more months. Oh, also, last time I updated you, I realized I had forgotten to pick a color for October. So my color scheme is updated. I just added a lighter pink up top, and that will be for October. This is August. This one's kind of cute. I don't know. It's not my favorite. This is September. I think this one turned out so cute. I love this one. This one's kind of cute too. Yeah. It didn't turn out too bad. So that's as far as I got. So I have November and December left, and then of course all of the other pages. So I'm definitely going to be working on this quite a bit, I think, over the weekend and maybe even into next week. So again, I hope you had a happy holiday if you celebrated, or just a great day. And thank you so much for watching this video and for sticking around to the end. Let me know if you check out The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year and what you thought about it, or if you've already read it, let me know your thoughts. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.